All right. Honestly, we saved maybe one of the best talking points for last. Will,
Yep.
I'm gonna take the lead on this one because we were walking through this. I understand the Virginia Tech hype. I completely get it.
Yeah.
When you start to look at what they're bringing back to the table, a lot of times people will sit there and say, "Well, you know what? Every time when you return production, it doesn't necessarily mean a return experience. It's not always the best thing." Well, Virginia Tech's returning experience and productive experience. That's the combination that I think when you look at what this team can do. Um, just a couple things here for you. We're not even going to get into the quarterback talk yet, but they return all their offensive linemen, plus one of the best Sun Belt offensive linemen they bring in Montavious Cunningham from Georgia State. Basil Tootin, the 2023, first off, he's got to be on the all-name team with a name like that. 2023 All-ACC third team guy. He found the end zone 10 times, averaged over 5 yards a carry. They have an ability to really be special. Defensively, look, they lost two of their top defensive tackles, but they got Kamari Copeland, Kevin Gilliam Jr., and one of Duke's better players and one of the better players in the ACC last year in Ananias Peebles. They got to shore up tackling. Defense has to play a little bit better, but there's a reason. I mean, Will, the schedule is completely manageable for what they want to do. It feels like Brent Pry is starting to build it the right way. And last year's 7-win team, you would say, hey, pretty solid defensively, pretty solid offensively. Kyron Drones, a lot of people think, Will, that he could be a guy that could take you to Charlotte. They're a trendy pick when you kind of look at some of Vegas's odds. Your thoughts, though, on what Virginia Tech brings to the table, that over-under win total set at 8 right now.
Yeah, I think it's interesting that they're the only one that is at a flat number. They don't get a half either way. I like what they've got at quarterback, Kyron Drones. A lot of discussion about him on the Discord today.
Yeah.
Just go back and join the Discord. Go back and read that.
Yeah.
It's very interesting stuff. I think it's kind of dependent on his development. Like you said, very gettable schedule. I think there's a lot of boom or bust potential here. I'm looking at a ceiling of 10-2 and a floor of 6-6. Maybe Drone stalls in his development. Maybe some of these transfer guys don't work out. Very possible. Drones doesn't have a great yards per carry, so who knows what they're going to look like.
Only 5 yards a pop. 4.9, I'm sorry. No, look, I mean, last thing on Virginia Tech here as we talk about, like, there's obvious reasons for what you're bringing to the table, why people are excited about it. I mean, you've done it the right way. Virginia Tech is a place that really, for the sake of college football and the sake of the ACC, Blacksburg has to become a tough place to play again. I mean, they need that juice, that energy up there. And so, look, 6'2", 235, almost 240 pounds. Drones is a guy who can be dual threat for you. He's a playmaker. Now, the biggest question mark, like we talked about, is he just going from a good athlete and going to stay at that level, or does he become more of a polished passer, a polished kind of quarterback in that stage of his development? And if he does, I could see Virginia Tech with that schedule being last year's Louisville, hands down, easy. And it's not just a knock on their schedule. Like, they do have a good football team. They're going to benefit, though, from a schedule that misses a lot of the big dogs in the conference.